Your life is basically all because of your habits. It is a sum of your habits. How in shape you are is basically the habit of, do you work out a lot or how well do you eat? How much money you have is basically a sum of how well do you budget, how much do you save, and do you have those habits in place to make sure that you can repeat that process over and over again. After I read Atomic Habits by James Clear, I really started zoning in and focusing in on my habits. So all throughout last year, I was really paying attention to my habits, but this year I have revamped how I am using my habit tracker. So in this video, I wanted to talk to you about my process and really dive into how I'm going to be setting up my habits for 2023. So this is my habit tracker. On my habit tracker, I would usually keep up with all of the different habits that I wanted to have for a particular week. The challenge with keeping up with this tracker was I have basically the exact same habits from week to week, and I found myself trying to write them over and over and over again on different sheets, when really I could just have one main sheet that I use at the beginning of my planner and keep track of all of my habits within my to-do planner and just kind of jot down what I felt like I did overall for the month. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I wanted to walk you through it to kind of tell you or show you exactly how this is going to work. So at the top here, I have a list of all of my morning habits. These are all of the things that I will do in the morning. Now, it's not really a routine because I don't do it in the exact same way every single morning, but I do like to complete these every single day. So even if it's not in the morning, I want to do this at some point throughout the day. So I've written that at the very top, and then right after that, I'm keeping up with my monthly habits. These are the things that I want to get done throughout the month. It's not something that I will do on a daily basis, but it is something that I want to stay on top of or make sure that I do. Mainly, my monthly habits are a result of a bunch of different routines that I have. I have a list of routines in my notebook, and we will talk about my notebook and how I use my notebook later on in Vlogmas. But for this purpose, I am just keeping up with all of the different routines that I have and making sure that I am completing them on a monthly basis. So what I have decided to do is revamp this sheet, and instead of it being a weekly thing, it's going to be an annual thing. I'm going to redate all of these, and instead of it being the weeks, it's going to be the months, and I'm going to keep up with how overall I am doing every single month. So I've added in all of the habits. Now I'm adding in the months at the very top of my planner. This is where I'm going to kind of keep up with the month we're currently in and how well I'm doing in that month. I'm going to show you in tomorrow's video how I decide if I will get a check mark or an X mark within each bubble of this month. So how do I know if I did well with my scripture study or with my faith planning for an entire month if I'm not checking off each box? And basically I am going to score myself, and based on the score is when I will decide if I get a check or an X within a particular bubble. But I'll talk more about that process tomorrow. Right now, I am still just filling out for the entire year this habit tracker. So I'm gonna have to repeat the exact same habits on the back, because as you saw, the front sheet was from January all the way through July, and now I'm going to do August through December on the back. This way I have an entire year where I can basically look at this one sheet and see how well I'm doing in multiple areas of my life with multiple habits that I am trying to stay on top of. Many times when I'm trying to look back, I have to look back at multiple habit trackers to try and see how well I'm doing overall for a year. And I feel like with revamping it this way, it kind of eliminates that process and allows me to look really quickly at one sheet and see how well I'm doing. Now I am storing this particular sheet within my planner. So this is going to be in the front section of my planner before you get to my schedule or any of the other sections. And I rename this section habits and routines. So I'm going to have an entire section that is dedicated to all of the habits that I want to keep up with and all of my routines. And I'm able to flip back and forth and see exactly how I am doing overall. So this is how I'm going to keep track of all of my habits for 2023. Let me know in the comments below. Are you setting up a habit tracker? Are you even tracking your habits? And what new habits are you setting up for 2023? In tomorrow's video, I'm going to show you a little bit more how this works and how I'm going to keep track on a daily basis so that I can kind of mark off on a monthly basis how well I did. So until then, keep organizing your life so you can achieve your dreams. Bye, guys. And at the end of the month, I will give myself a score for every single week and then transfer it over to my score for the month.